The signal from beyond. Admiral Lyra Vex stood before the remnants of the Galactic Alliance Council, her silver scales dulled by exhaustion. 300 cycles of peace had ended 6 stellar rotations ago when the Ravagers emerged from the uncharted regions. The Alliance, once spanning 17 star systems and comprising 7 unique species, now clung to just 4 systems. Our defense line at Proxima Centauri has fallen, Lyra reported, her voice hollow as the projection behind her displayed the devastation. The Raidani colony is gone. 2 billion souls. She couldn't finish. High Counselor Theron, his 4 eyes blinking in sequence, a sign of deep distress among the Kinturi, raised a trembling hand. Our predictive models give us less than 1 stellar rotation before our core worlds fall. The Ravagers. They do not negotiate. They do not accept surrender. Science Director Killam stepped forward, his crystalline exoskeleton catching the emergency lighting. There may be one option we haven't explored. He activated his personal console, projecting an image of a blue-green world. This planet, designated Sol 3 by our long-range probes, harbors an emerging civilization. They call themselves humans. Murmurs spread through the chamber. First contact protocols had been clear. Species that hadn't achieved interstellar travel were to be left undisturbed until they evolved naturally to that point. You suggest breaking our most sacred law? Questioned Representative Zorn of the methane-breathing Vreel. Keelam's crystalline structures pulsed with determination. I suggest survival. The humans are unusual. Our observation shows they've advanced from simple tools to rudimentary space exploration in mere millennia, while most species require tens of thousands of cycles. They're incredibly adaptable and demonstrate remarkable problem-solving capabilities. They're primitives, scoffed Commander Drek, the Alliance's military strategist. They haven't even unified their own world. True, Killam conceded, but they've developed technologies in unusual sequences. Their quantum physics understanding outpaces their energy production methods. Their weapons technology has advanced faster than their medicine. They're unpredictable, and the Ravagers operate on prediction. Lyra studied the planet's image thoughtfully. What exactly are you proposing? We send a targeted transmission, a distress call with enough of our technological knowledge to help them understand who we are and what threatens us. If they respond, Killam's voice trailed off. If they respond, Lyra finished, we gain allies the Ravagers cannot anticipate. The debate raged for hours, but with each passing moment, reports arrived of another outpost lost, another colony silenced. Eventually, desperation won over tradition. Prepare the transmission, High Counselor Theron ordered. Send everything. Our biology, our history, our technology. And pray these humans are as exceptional as our observations suggest. In the transmission center, Killam worked tirelessly, compressing centuries of knowledge into a signal that could cross the vast distance between their worlds. The message concluded with a desperate plea. We are the Galactic Alliance. Our civilization faces extinction. If you can hear us, if you can help us, please respond. The signal shot across the cosmos, a digital bottle thrown into a stellar ocean. Dr. Elena Kovacs had almost finished her shift at the Allen Array when the first anomalies appeared on her monitor. The 34-year-old SETI researcher had spent 12 years scanning the stars for signs of extraterrestrial intelligence. 12 years of nothing but cosmic background radiation and the occasional pulsar. Until now. This can't be right, she muttered, recalibrating the system. The pattern held, regular, structured, unmistakably artificial. Her fingers trembled as she initiated the verification protocols. 3 different arrays detecting the same signal. Not Earth-based, not any known satellite or probe. Something, or someone, was broadcasting from 87 light-years away. She reached for her phone, dialing the director's number. Sir, I need you to come to the main observatory. Now. Within hours, Elena's quiet research facility transformed into a hub of frantic activity. Government officials, military personnel, and the world's leading scientists crowded around her workstation as the alien signal continued streaming in. "It's a language primer," explained Dr. Mahmoud, the renowned linguist who'd been helicoptered in from Cambridge. "They're teaching us how to understand them, starting with mathematical constants and progressing to complex concepts." Brilliant approach. As the computers processed the incoming data, the room fell silent. Images began forming on the main screen: star maps, anatomical diagrams of 7 distinctly alien species, and finally, terrifying footage of massive ships decimating entire planets. "They're asking for help," Elena realized, her voice barely above a whisper. "This isn't just a hello. It's an SOS." Admiral Harrison, representing the Joint Chiefs of Staff, frowned deeply. "Could be a trap. Lure us out of our solar system, away from our defenses." "To what end?" Elena challenged. "They've included schematics for technology centuries beyond ours. If they wanted to conquer us, why give us the means to advance our own capabilities?" As debate erupted around her, Elena continued studying the signal. The alien transmission included coordinates, technical specifications, and what appeared to be a timeline, counting down. "Whatever's happening to them," she announced, cutting through the arguments, "they believe they have less than 8 months before total collapse. We need to decide now if humanity answers this call." The news leaked as momentous secrets always do. Within days, the world knew. We were not alone, and our cosmic neighbors were begging for salvation. Global responses varied wildly. Religious institutions debated the theological implications. Conspiracy theorists had their day in the sun. Military establishments around the world went on high alert. But something unexpected emerged: a growing consensus that humanity should respond. "We have an opportunity," United Nations Secretary-General Okafor stated in an emergency session, "to not only advance our species through the knowledge freely given to us, but to demonstrate who we truly are. Will we turn our backs on a civilization in need when we have been offered the means to help them?" The vote wasn't unanimous, but it was decisive. Humanity would answer. Using the technological blueprints provided in the alien message, engineers worked around the clock to modify existing spacecraft and weapons systems. The finest minds from every nation collaborated on an unprecedented scale. Political differences were set aside in the face of the greater challenge and opportunity. 6 months later, the United Nations Space Command vessel Resilience stood ready. Constructed using a hybrid of human ingenuity and alien specifications, it represented the pinnacle of human achievement. Its crew of 120 comprised the best specialists from 28 nations. Commander Sophia Reyes, a decorated naval officer with a background in unconventional warfare, received command of the mission. As she addressed her crew before launch, the weight of history rested on her shoulders. "We embark today not just as representatives of our respective nations, but as ambassadors of humanity," she declared. "We carry with us the hopes of our species and the answer to a plea from the stars. Whatever awaits us, we will face it with courage, ingenuity, and compassion, the hallmarks of humanity at its best." The Resilience launched on a clear autumn morning, leaving Earth behind in a trail of blue fire. Using the FTL drive technology provided by the aliens, modified and improved by human engineers, they entered the vast unknown of interstellar space. Their mission: reach the Galactic Alliance's remaining stronghold in the Lyra constellation and deliver humanity's response to their desperate call. No one could have predicted exactly what that response would mean for the future of 2 civilizations. Humanity's unexpected answer. 87 light-years from Earth, the UNSC Resilience emerged from its final FTL jump into chaos. Warning alarms blared across the bridge as massive energy signatures registered on their sensors. Status report. Commander Reyes ordered, strapping herself into the command chair as the ship automatically initiated evasive maneuvers. 7 large vessels matching Ravager configurations from the Alliance data. Lieutenant Park reported from Tactical. "They're engaging 3 smaller ships, designed consistent with Kinteri defense vessels. The smaller ships are heavily damaged. The view screen showed the brutal reality. Predatory black ships with blood-red energy signatures systematically dismantling the more elegant silver vessels. In the background, a ringed planet bore visible scars of orbital bombardment. "We're being scanned," Communications Officer Chen announced, receiving transmission from one of the smaller vessels. The screen shifted to reveal a being with silvery scales and 4 eyes arranged in a diamond pattern. Its expression, even on an alien face, clearly displayed shock. "Unknown vessel, this is Defense Coordinator Theron of the Galactic Alliance. You've entered an active combat zone. Identify yourself or—" The alien paused, pupils dilating as recognition dawned. You're from Sol 3. You received our message." Commander Reyes stood tall. "This is Commander Sophia Reyes of the United Nations Space Command Vessel Resilience. Yes, we received your message and have come to render assistance." The alien's 4 eyes blinked rapidly. "You came to help. With one ship." "For starters," Reyes replied with a confident smile. "Now, please transmit tactical data on the enemy vessels. We'll handle the rest." As the Kinteri transmitted battle information, the bridge crew analyzed the Ravager's combat patterns. Dr. Elena Kovacs, included in the mission for her expertise in the alien transmission, worked alongside the tactical team. "They're methodical," she observed, "almost algorithmic in their attack sequences." Chief Engineer Rodriguez nodded. "Their tech is advanced, but rigid. No improvisation." Commander Reyes' eyes narrowed as she studied the tactical display. In her previous military career, she had specialized in asymmetric warfare, fighting against technologically superior forces using unconventional methods. It seemed the universe had prepared her perfectly for this moment. "They expect us to fight like the Alliance," she realized aloud. "Direct energy weapons, predictable defense patterns. So we won't." She turned to her weapons officer. "Lieutenant Kim, prepare the electromagnetic pulse warheads. Rodriguez, is the drone swarm ready?" "Yes, Commander. All 5,000 microdrones are armed and ready for deployment." The bridge crew looked at her with growing excitement as her plan became clear. Plot an attack vector that appears to be a standard Alliance formation. Then have the helm execute deviation pattern Delta on my mark. Her eyes gleamed with determination. "Let's introduce these Ravagers to humanity's favorite combat tactic, chaos." The Resilience accelerated toward the battle, broadcasting Alliance identification codes they'd received from the Kinteri. As expected, 2 Ravager vessels broke off to intercept what they perceived as reinforcements. "They're taking the bait," Park announced. "Weapons range in 30 seconds. Launch the drone swarm," Reyes ordered. From the Resilience's deployment bays, thousands of microdrones, each barely larger than a hummingbird, streamed into space. Individually, they registered as debris on sensors. Collectively, they formed a networked weapons system unlike anything the galaxy had seen. "Ravager vessels charging weapons," Kim reported. "Mark," Reyes commanded. The Resilience suddenly veered off its predictable course, executing a maneuver that would have crushed any human crew without the inertial dampeners they'd developed from the Alliance specifications. The Ravager energy beams sliced through empty space where the Earth vessel should have been. Meanwhile, the drone swarm infiltrated the Ravager ship's exterior defense grid, attaching to specific points identified in the Alliance tactical data as sensor nodes. Once in position, they simultaneously detonated miniature EMP charges. Across the Ravager fleet, external sensor arrays went dark. "Direct hit. Their targeting systems are offline," Kim shouted, unable to contain his excitement. "Fire EMP warheads, spread pattern," Reyes ordered calmly. Unlike conventional weapons, the electromagnetic pulse warheads weren't designed to destroy. They were designed to disrupt. Ravager shield technology, while advanced, had never been designed to counter this particular human approach to warfare. The pulses penetrated their defenses, cascading through their ship's electrical systems. 3 Ravager vessels drifted powerless. 2 others maintained partial function, but were clearly disoriented, firing randomly into space. On the view screen, Defense Coordinator Theron's expression would have been comical if the situation weren't so dire. All 4 eyes were fully dilated, and his mouth hung open in what the human crew assumed was the Kinteri equivalent of shock. How? He managed to communicate. Their shields have withstood our most powerful weapons for 6 stellar rotations. Sometimes the best way through a shield is to go around it. Rise responded. Your alliance focuses on direct energy weapons. Humanity has a long history of finding alternatives. She turned to her tactical officer. Park, transmit the modified shield frequency data to the Kinteri vessels. Let's finish this. With the Ravager's systems compromised by human EMP technology, the remaining Kinteri ships were able to recalibrate their weapons to the frequencies the human scientists had calculated. Their energy beams, previously absorbed by Ravager shields, now cut through with devastating effectiveness. Within an hour, the battle was over. 5 Ravager warships destroyed, 2 captured largely intact, a tactical goldmine of intelligence and technology. As the Resilience docked with the Kinteri command station, Commander Rais led a delegation to meet with what remained of the Galactic Alliance leadership. The station's corridors showed signs of prolonged conflict, emergency repairs, rationed lighting, and the unmistakable weariness of a civilization on the brink. The Alliance Council chamber fell silent as the humans entered. 7 different species, each more alien than the last, stared with a mixture of hope and disbelief. High Counselor Theron approached them, performing a formal gesture of respect. For 300 cycles, the Galactic Alliance has considered itself the pinnacle of civilization, he began. We observe your world from afar, noting your conflicts, your divisions, your struggles. We debated whether your species would destroy itself before reaching the stars. He paused, his silver scales reflecting the chamber's light. In our darkest hour, we reached out not truly believing you would or could respond. Yet here you stand, one ship accomplishing what our fleet could not. Admiral Lyra Vex stepped forward. How? How did you defeat their shields when our best scientists failed for 6 rotations? Dr. Elena Kovacs answered, her voice steady despite her awe at addressing an interstellar council. Your civilizations evolved in relative peace. Your conflicts were regulated, your wars formalized. Earth has known no such luxury. Humanity developed amid constant conflict, forcing us to think asymmetrically when faced with superior forces. Engineering Chief Rodriguez continued. Your technology followed logical progression paths. Humanity's didn't. We developed nuclear weapons before we cured common diseases. We created global communication networks before we resolved global hunger. We're messy, contradictory, and unpredictable. And that's our strength. Commander Rice completed the thought. The Ravagers calculated every possible Alliance response based on your history and technology. But they never encountered humans. They couldn't predict us because we barely predict ourselves. A ripple of murmurs spread through the chamber as translation systems conveyed the humans' words to each species. You truly believe your one vessel can turn the tide of this war? Asked Commander Drek skeptically. Ray smiled. This one vessel? No, but it's not alone. She activated her communicator. Resilience, initiate Phase 2. The chamber's large view screen activated, showing a feed from the Resilience's long-range sensors. In the distance, spatial distortions formed. 1, then 3, then 12. From the distortions emerged ships, human ships. Not one, but an entire fleet, constructed in secret while the Resilience had journeyed ahead as vanguard. The UNSC Indomitable, Challenger, Horizon, and 9 others, Rise announced with pride. Carrying not just weapons, but engineers, scientists, and diplomats. Earth's full response to your call for help. For the first time in 6 rotations, hope illuminated the faces of the Galactic Alliance Council. Science Director Keelam's crystalline body pulsed with excitement. You built all this, learned faster than light travel, advanced weapons technology, shield harmonics, in months. Dr. Kovacs nodded. With the foundation you provided in your message, yes. Humanity has always excelled at three things: learning, adapting, and fighting when necessary. High Counselor Theron stepped forward, performing the Alliance's most sacred greeting ritual before Commander Reyes. When we sent our message across the stars, we hoped for allies. We never imagined we would find saviors. Commander Reyes shook her head. Not saviors, partners. You gave us the stars, showed us we're not alone. In return, we bring something the Ravagers have never encountered and cannot calculate: human ingenuity and determination. She gestured to the images of Earth ships arriving, their hulls bearing the flags of nations that had warred against each other for centuries, now united in a common cause. This is humanity's answer to your call. Not just weapons or technology, but everything we are: our creativity, our resilience, our unwavering resolve when facing impossible odds. Her voice filled with conviction. The Ravagers made a fatal error when they threatened a civilization that reached out to us. They're about to discover why. Throughout our history, humanity has always stood tallest when defending others. As plans were made and strategies formed, a new chapter began, not just for the Galactic Alliance, but for humanity. The stars had called, and Earth had answered in a way no one could have predicted. The Ravagers had calculated every possible response from the known galaxy. They never calculated humans.